podcast. Your host, Dr. KellyRae, is a renowned mindset coach and counselor, often referred to as the inner critic tamer. With a passion for guiding individuals through life's challenges, she specializes in personal growth and emotional healing. In each episode, Dr. KellyRae shares invaluable insights, practical strategies, and relatable stories designed to inspire you to take that first step toward positive change. So, grab your favorite beverage, settle in, and get ready to dive deep into meaningful conversations that empower you on your journey. Let's welcome Dr. KellyRae.
Hey there, welcome back to the Getting to the Week podcast. I'm Dr. KellyRae, your host, and as always, I'm so glad that you decided to stop by and spend some time with me today. You know, there's one thing I've noticed over the years, and that is how many people are incredibly good at giving. Giving support, giving love, giving advice, giving encouragement, giving time, giving energy, giving care. But when it comes to time to receive those same things back, suddenly it becomes uncomfortable. It becomes maybe even embarrassing and even sometimes a little awkward. And honestly, I don't think many people even realize they struggle with receiving because hyper-independence is often praised in our society. I certainly know I didn't. We celebrate the people who handle everything, the people who don't ask for much, the people who keep going no matter what, the people who are always there for everyone else. But underneath that strength, many people are quietly exhausted because constantly giving while struggling to receive creates imbalance emotionally, mentally, physically, and even spiritually. And I think many people secretly crave support, softness, reassurance, affection, and emotional safety, while simultaneously struggling to fully let those things in. So what I want to talk about is why receiving can feel so vulnerable. Why survival often teaches people to become emotionally self-reliant. The difference between healthy independence and emotional armor. And what it means to slowly learn how to let life feel gentler again. So wherever you are in the world today, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's get this conversation started. You know, I think many people become hyper-independent for reasons that make perfect emotional sense. If life taught you early that people were inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, unpredictable, unsafe, or unreliable, your nervous system adapts. You learn, handle it yourself, don't need too much, don't burden anyone, stay prepared, don't let your guard down too far. And after a while, self-reliance stops being a skill and becomes identity. I think this happens both for men and women, although sometimes in different ways. Many women were conditioned to overfunction emotionally, to nurture, to caregive, to anticipate needs, to emotionally hold things together. And many men were conditioned to suppress vulnerability, to provide, to push through stress silently, to carry pressure without expressing what they were feeling internally. Excuse me. But underneath both experiences is often the same survival pattern. If I can handle everything myself, I won't get hurt. And honestly, that belief can make people incredibly capable, successful, responsible, dependable, resilient. But it can also become lonely, Because eventually many people stop knowing how to let others truly support them emotionally. I remember someone asking me what they could do to help me during a particularly stressful season of my life. And without thinking, without a second thought, my immediate answer was, I'm fine. I'm fine. Even though I absolutely was not fine. And what's interesting is I didn't even consciously mean to push support away. It was automatic. Because survival becomes normal. Receiving can start to feel unfamiliar. I think receiving is vulnerable because receiving requires openness. And openness can feel terrifying for people who learn survival through self-protection. You know, it's interesting how many people can intellectually crave love and support while emotionally struggling to fully trust it. Someone compliments them, then minimizes it. Someone offers help, they decline it. Someone tries to care for them, they become uncomfortable. Someone shows consistency, they wait for the other shoe to drop. Because survival teaches people to stay emotionally prepared. And honestly, I think some people would rather exhaust themselves than risk fully emotionally dependent on someone. Not because they don't want connection, but because dependence once felt dangerous. Maybe support was inconsistent. Maybe vulnerability was punished. Maybe asking for help led to shame, guilt, disappointment. Maybe love felt conditional. Maybe disappointment taught the nervous system, don't relax much. And over time, people become more comfortable giving than receiving because giving feels safer. Giving creates control. Receiving requires trust. I remember talking to a friend once who was going through an incredibly difficult season emotionally. And she said something that really stayed with me. She said, I don't even know how to let people help me anymore. I only know how to survive. And honestly, I think many people listening right now understand exactly what she meant. Now, I want to say something really important here because I don't think independence itself is unhealthy. I think healthy independence is beautiful. Being able to care for yourself, support yourself, make decisions, create stability, move through life with confidence. Those are all very important things. But there's a difference between healthy independence and emotional armor. Healthy independence says, I can take care of myself. Emotional armor says, I can't safely rely on anyone. And those are very different things. I think sometimes people confuse needing no one with healing. But emotionally shutting down everyone out of isn't peace, it's protection. And honestly, I think many people become so used to carrying everything themselves that they don't even realize how emotionally guarded they've become. They struggle to ask for help, struggle to trust consistency, struggle to receive care, struggle to soften, struggle to let themselves be fully seen. Because armor protects us from pain, but it also blocks connection. And I think many people secretly long for emotional safety while simultaneously fearing what it would mean to finally let their guard down. That's such a human experience, especially after life has hurt you before. You know, there's something I've learned over the years is that healing isn't only mental, it's physical too. Because the body remembers survival. The body remembers stress, hypervigilance, uncertainty, emotional inconsistency, pressure, fear, disappointment. And when the nervous system spends years living in survival mode, the body can start associating softness with vulnerability instead of safety. Which is why some people struggle to rest without guilt, or struggle to slow down, or struggle to receive support without discomfort. The mind may say, "Oh, I want peace," but the body is still bracing for impact. And honestly, I think this is why so many people feel exhausted even when they're trying to heal emotionally. Because survival patterns live in the nervous system too. This can show up as chronic stress, sleep struggles, digestive issues, anxiety, burnout, brain fog, hormonal imbalance, emotional numbness, autoimmune issues, high functioning depression, or constantly feeling emotionally on edge. The body carries what the mind tries to outrun. And this is why healing often requires more than positive thinking. Sometimes healing looks like rest, nutrition, movement, boundaries, stillness, breathing deeply again, feeling safe in your body again, and slowly teaching your nervous system that life no longer has to feel like constant emotional survival. I think one of the hardest things for strong people to learn is that they're allowed to receive too. Receive help, receive support, receive encouragement, receive love, receive rest, receive kindness, receive respect, receive softness, receive care without feeling guilty for it. And honestly, I think many people are starving emotionally while pretending they're perfectly fine. Not because they're weak, but because survival taught them how to function, not necessarily how to feel safe enough to receive. But maybe healing isn't becoming someone who never needs anything from anyone. Maybe healing is learning discernment without isolation. Learning how to remain open without abandoning yourself. Learning how to let trustworthy people love you without constantly bracing for disappointment. And maybe strength isn't always found in how much you can carry alone. Maybe sometimes strength is found in finally allowing yourself to be supported too. Honestly, this is part of why I created Soft 30 Reset. Because so many people are disconnected from themselves physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually after years of survival mode. And sometimes healing begins with simple acts of reconnection. Hydration, movement, sleep, stillness, boundaries, nourishment, joy, consistency, breathing deeply again, creating safety within your own body again. Because I don't believe people were ever meant to carry life entirely alone. So if you're listening to this today and realizing how difficult it is for you to receive, I just want you to know you're not broken. There's nothing wrong with you. There's usually a reason people become emotionally self-reliant. Survival taught you that. But maybe your next chapter isn't only about surviving anymore. Maybe it's about slowly learning that support does not automatically mean weakness. That receiving does not make you needy. That vulnerability does not make you unsafe. That softness does not mean losing yourself. Maybe healing is allowing life to feel gentler than it once did. And maybe the strongest thing you'll ever do is finally stop believing you have to carry everything alone. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. And wherever you are in the world, please know I'm sending you so much love, encouragement, and support as you continue getting through your week. Be gentle with yourselves this week. Some people have spent so long surviving that receiving love, rest, or support can feel unfamiliar at first. Until next week, my friends, take care of
Thank you for
yourselves.
joining us for another episode of the Getting Through the Week podcast with Dr. KellyRae. If you're looking to connect with her or schedule an appointment, here's how you can reach her. Follow her on Instagram at AskDrKellyRae. Check out her Facebook page at Dr. KellyRae. Find her on TikTok at Dr. KellyRae. Visit her website at drkellyrae.com. Or send her an email at drkellyrae@gmail.com. Until next week, Dr. KellyRae sends you so much love.